And extreme heat is putting stress on the electric grid. We'll be joined live by a Con Ed representative to learn how they are preparing.
7:46 right now, and temperatures are finally expected to reach 90 degrees today in New York City as the excessive heat watch continues across our area.
Yeah, we just heard from meteorologist Byron Miranda about that one, right? So the city's power grid's paying the price for the sweltering heat. So joining us this morning is Con Ed spokesman Alfonso Quiroz to discuss how they are prepping for the increased demand. I know this is a busy time for you, Alfonso, so thanks for being here this morning to talk about it.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, Dan.
Yeah, let's get right into this because we're not officially in the heat wave just yet, but it's looking like it, right? So how is this impacting Con Ed over the last 2 days, and especially within the next 2 days as we see the temperatures go up and away?
Well, there's no doubt about it that we prepare for days like this all year long. The grid is pretty much ready. What we've done so far is that we've invested over $2.3 billion into the system in the past year to really beef it up for days like this. We've called in extra crews to be on standby in case there are any power problems. And we've even opened up a command center, a special command center, so that we're able to dispatch those crews if there should be any power problems. But the grid here in New York City is extremely reliable. But that doesn't mean that there can't be any power problems, even on a blue sky day. That's why we're always encouraging our customers to use energy very wisely and to contact us if they have any power problems.
So you had mentioned keeping a close eye. Can you tell us a little bit more about that smart meter system that you have in place that helps you avoid power outages? How does it work?
Well, a smart meter basically will allow us to communicate with customers and the meter to communicate with us, and we're able to communicate with the meter. But our focus right now is really the heat as it's coming in. This is the time that we prepare for all year long, and we are really focused on this and to make sure that we are able to respond to any outages should they occur, and get our crews back, get our crews out on the street as quickly as we can and restore any power problems that may occur.
Last week we saw that there was that reduction in Times Square area, right? It was like a slight reduction of power in the area. Just reality here for people who are watching at home, because it sounds great to set your thermostat in the 70s, but people don't do that, right? Because they want it cool in their apartments. So what's the reality here? Is there going to be a brownout or a reduction in power in specific neighborhoods just to get ahead of it?
Well, we're not anticipating any power problems, but there's always a chance that there could be a power problem. You have to remember that a lot of our equipment is underground, where it can be trapped by heat, and that can make our equipment overheat and cause power problems. So that's why we offer different tips to our customers, like if you don't need an air conditioner, use a fan. If you do need an air conditioner, try to set it at its highest possible temperature at its lowest possible speed. Another really good tip is to make sure that your blinds and shades are closed so that the room is dark. That helps keep it really cool. Be sure, number one, don't air condition rooms that you're not in. So if you're sitting in the living room, make sure the bedroom door is closed so that you don't do that. Another really good tip is to make sure that you don't use high energy appliances during the day. So don't do the laundry, at noon. Wait until later at night before you do, before you run the dishwasher. Little things like that can really help the system cool down and help us out a lot, especially in the next couple of days.
Yeah, good reminders, great advice. Now, you had already mentioned, how you have these emergency response teams in place just in case something does happen. But we're also expecting thunderstorms this weekend. So will this affect overhead wiring? Are you taking a look at that, keeping a close eye on that as well?
Working for a utility is a little bit like being a farmer. You're always watching the weather. And that's exactly correct. So we're dealing with the heat, but we also have to pay attention to any kind of storms that come in. The other part of our system is our overhead lines, and those serve areas like Staten Island and Westchester and other areas. And those can be susceptible to high winds or rain. And once again, that's where we're really sort of paying attention to where the weather is coming, and we're reaching out to customers to make sure that they, that they don't have any issues, and that if there are any power problems, that we're able to get out there as quickly as we can to make those restorations.
Yeah, and you can also sign up for those text alerts from Con Ed to find out when those outages will be fixed. Just for people who are watching, I don't mean to go back to it, but if you do reduce power in an area, Alfonso, What does that area look like? Right? Because I'm trying to figure out why you did Times Square last week, and to anticipate if you live in a very busy area where there's a lot like Times Square, obviously there's a lot of lights and things that are going on there with theaters. So is there a neighborhood that maybe could expect it because of how you look at things?
Well, we don't anticipate anything in one specific neighborhood, but if there are any power problems, we do reach out to our customers and ask them to conserve energy a little bit more, to turn off all of their appliances and their electricity. And what that does is basically that really cools down the system so that we're able to make those repairs. And if there is an outage, it keeps the outage shorter as opposed to longer, and it helps us to get those customers back up.
All right, Alfonso, thanks again for taking the time to give us these great tips and prep us for this heat. Good luck this week and next, apparently.
Yes.
All right.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. All right, 7-2, everybody. So let's talk about the Golden Girls.